Hello.
And to you, good day.
Good day, Bashar. So it's my pleasure and my passion to talk to you today.
As it is ours to talk to you as well.
Absolutely. So I have a few questions, some metrics, basics, and something that I'd really like to get into with you.
Yes.
So some metrics right now is how high is the ship? How many beings are listening and from how many civilization, and when is the window of open contact?
The window of open contact hasn't really shifted. It is between 2023 and about 2033 or 40, generally speaking. This doesn't mean that everything happens all at once. It's still a process. It will start slowly, but it will expand during that window until about 2050, when there will be absolute open conscious contact with other civilizations. My ship is about 2,500 miles above Bell Rock in your Sedona area. At this particular moment, there are 147,000 beings listening to this particular moment of our transmission.
Thank you so much. So I've been listening to your stuff for a while, and I've had in my imagination and in my dream state and almost dream state different encounters. So I'd like to know if you can tell me more about my counterparts in maybe Esasani, the Yayel, or anybody that I'm vibrationally close to that I can make contact with.
Well, again, you have made contact with a few counterparts here and there in your encounters, as you say. These things are mostly determined by the timing of your energy and the timing of the path that you chose. You are part of the hybridization agenda, which means you do have counterparts in various hybrid civilizations that help you play out the idea of your participation in the hybridization agenda. But I can't be more specific than that unless you open the door to a more specific question.
Okay. So when I was a child, I remember I was walking with my mom, my sister, and my mom's sister, and we're walking in a very rural place.
Yes.
And I was very young, and I seem to remember maybe there was a gray walking with us.
Yes, taking you to the ship.
I don't know, well, I thought we were going to my mom's hometown.
Yes, I know you thought that.
Okay.
But that is the kind of thing that is done so that you won't necessarily be afraid.
Okay. So then another cool experience I just had was when you told us about the docking ship above us. I closed my eyes and I could see different beings there.
Yes.
And then I opened them and I was in my room and I was like, okay, yeah, this is happening. And I closed them and I was in my imagination on the ship again. And there was a being that looked like a blob with lots of tentacles and two long ones that came straight up to my face. And I wanted to jerk back and I said, no, don't be afraid. And I stayed and it just came on and it seemed to say, oh, this is a Earther. And then it just went on its way.
Yes. This is one of the beings from what we have called the inside-out universe. They are generally in the shape of a sphere, although by being in a gravity environment, they may lose that shape a little bit. But they can extend and retract many different tentacles from their form. In their natural environment, they sort of roll around on the surface or the inner surface of the bubbles that exist in the gravitational fluid that replaces the idea of empty space in their dimensional reality. So you met one of them.
Oh, great. And there was somebody who looked more like us, one head, two arms and stuff, but I couldn't see the face properly. And we seemed to have a very close connection, a male energy.
Yes.
Yes. Who was that? Was that one of my counterparts, or from which civilization was that?
We're not supposed to say anything about that yet.
And the lady next to him kind of felt like a fairy, was maybe dressed like a fairy, maybe had a wand.
That's an interpretation.
Okay.
A projection, a telepathic projection.
Okay. So when you say you're not supposed to say, and I've heard you on different occasions saying this, as
Yes.
we become conscious creators, can you please be more specific about who says you're not supposed to say or why you're not supposed to say? I found it really helpful when I've heard you say to others you're mid-process or something like that.
Yes, well, that's usually the reason. And or it's simply not our job. Sometimes this information comes from your own higher mind. Sometimes it comes from the beings themselves that you may be referring to that are going, shh, it's not time yet.
Okay, and in this specific instance?
Shh, it's not time yet.
Okay, so on that note, so you've told us that the ship is there, and I've been there non-physically. If we were going to dock with that ship, what are the exact instructions I would need, like the type of ship from Earth and all those other things, and how we would actually dock with that so we can maybe start building that?
Start building it?
Well, building a ship to dock with that space station.
Well, that will come in time, but the idea really is that you don't necessarily have to do that much if you've arrived at the point where you can build a ship that will dock with it. They would help you dock.
Okay. So the fact that I'm thinking of building a ship means we are a bit further from that, or we'd be
Yes.
taking this too literal?
No, it's not impossible to build a ship to dock with it, but you simply don't really have the technology yet, and you're not really ready psychologically yet.
Okay.
When the time comes, they will adjust themselves to allow you to dock. You won't have to do that much, except be of the vibrational state where it will be allowed.
And how will we know? What are the signs or symptoms?
Well, first and foremost, open contact has to begin, and it has to have proceeded to a certain point of awareness on your planet.
Okay.
We cannot spring everything on you at once. You have to take it a step at a time.
Okay. I can understand that one. And how about the Yael, who are probably the first beings that we're going to be in contact with?
No,
on Earth?
they are the first hybrid beings, not the first beings.
Okay. So who are the first being for open contact?
Possibly Pleiadian, but I cannot be certain at this time because it is not yet time for that to occur. There may be changes.
So on Earth, if we're meeting somebody, we say this place, this date, this time, and we rendezvous there. Can we do that with them?
Not yet, because again, you're not ready. We have had 3 occasions where people have asked for us to give a place and a time and a date to rendezvous. And in all 3 cases, as soon as they sensed we were approaching, they ran because their fears came up, because encountering the high vibration that we give off brought things to the surface that they were not ready to integrate into their consciousness.
Okay, that's great. I know I'm not ready right now, but I think I'll be ready pretty soon.
You will find out when the automatic timing occurs by simply following the formula that we have shared with all of you, because that doesn't leave anything relevant or important out of your life. By following your formula, you raise your vibration. By raising your frequency, you become more vibrationally compatible with the kinds of things you're referring to.
Okay.
That will be enough. That will be enough for today.
Okay. Chat soon. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.